An assistant principal at a Northeast El Paso high school recovering from surgery, reportedly hurt by students. ABC-7 with new information tonight on a head-on collision just outside the city. Musicians were some of those pulled off of a mangled bus. The French government reporting we could have seen attacks like we saw Friday several times over the last year, and the same man is suspected of orchestrating most of them. Plus, big developments in Washington on whether states can ignore the president's plan to resettle those Syrian refugees, and El Paso's congressman questioning the former ambassador to that country.
I don't think we could do more of the same.
Also new at 9, the congressman just releasing a statement on why he voted the way he did today on the refugee situation. Nichole?
It will be chilly this weekend and the winds will pick up. Details in Storm Track Weather.
It's all next on ABC-7 at 9. It starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Harp. Nichole, let's talk about that weather outside. It's actually pretty nice. A little chilly, but the wind isn't blowing us around. Some good news.
It's not good news for now, but that's going to change, Bob. Our current temperatures on our WeatherNet site showing we're in the 50s, so enjoy the nice weather because we got some changes in the forecast this weekend. Those details are coming up in just a bit, Bob.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Nichole. We appreciate that. An assistant principal at Irvin High School recovering in the hospital tonight. The district is saying he was hurt while trying to break up a fight between students. This happened outside of the building on campus, though, at Irvin in Northeast El Paso yesterday. Now, the 9400 block of Roanoke Drive is where Irvin is, right behind the area where North Park Mall once was. This story is only on ABC-7 tonight. We have learned the students involved could face suspension, depending on what 2 cell phone videos the district got a hold of actually show happened. The assistant principal is Scott Gray. He is recovering tonight at UMC. He had surgery for a broken kneecap. Witnesses say Gray was trying to break up the fight when he was pushed to the ground. The district sent us this statement saying EPISD takes these incidents like this one seriously, especially since it led to the injury of an employee. EPISD will continue to investigate this matter. By the way, Gray is the husband of Good Morning El Paso anchor Stephanie Valle. They met because Scott is one of my childhood best friends, and he used to be my roommate many years ago. Scott, if you're watching tonight, we are certainly pulling for you, and we'll keep you updated on how he's doing. In the meantime, new tonight, an ABC-7 crew just back from a funeral of a teenager who was killed in a wreck on I-10 2 weeks ago. 14-year-old Diego Fernandez died at the scene of the crash on the west side, right by I-10 and Red Road. Police saying his mother, Simona Fernandez Alcala, was driving a pickup with Diego and his dad as passengers. She reportedly crashed into the back of a semi-truck and caused a chain reaction. Tonight, we spoke with friends who say the world is going to be missing a very special person.
Remembering Diego, it was really hard for everybody. And till this point, it's at school, everything is a little bit more calm, but it's still really hard for everybody. Like teachers, it's still really hard to talk about Diego.
And Diego was a student and soccer player at Canoteo Middle School. Now, the school even retired the team's number 7 jersey, handing it to Diego's older brother, so no one else will sport the number 7 on the soccer team at that school. Very emotional there. Hey, we are also keeping you updated now on that deadly head-on collision just outside El Paso. This was on Highway 62-180. That is what Montana Avenue turns into, just east of the city limits. Well, Texas DPS telling us a tractor trailer and a tour bus crashed into each other at about 9:15 this morning, just past the Border Patrol checkpoint. We have Luke Liddon in the newsroom live, working the details. Hey, Luke.
Hey, Bob. We know 12 people were involved in this wreck, and both drivers were actually killed in this incident. And tonight, ABC-7 is still waiting to learn what DPS investigators think caused the crash. And this is the scene of the crash, as you'll see right here, and you can see both vehicles on the highway overturned. I just got off the phone with a drummer's brother, Nick Tkachik, and he says his brother is currently undergoing surgery and suffered head trauma and several broken bones. And he says Andrew is a person that always lit up the room.
My family, and everybody that has ever had the pleasure of knowing him, the first thing they will tell you is how hilarious he is and how, in the worst of times, his heart is huge and he'll crack a joke and make you forget about all the problems that you're having.
A band spokesman sent us a statement today saying, quote, all 5 band members and all members of the crew are being treated for their injuries. Join us tonight at 10 for my exclusive interview with Andrew's brother, Nick. Bob, back to you.
All right, Luke, such a sad story as well. We'll keep you updated. Luke, thanks so much. Live in our newsroom tonight. Well, the district attorney at El Paso is saying a man accused of driving drunk and killing 3 people is, quote, a continuing danger to the community. Jaime Esparza wants a judge to reconsider the bond for Joel Garcia. Remember, Garcia bonded out of jail last week after pleading guilty to another DWI case. The DA says Judge Gonzalo Garcia did not consider that Joel Garcia was a no-show in a prior court case. Yesterday, the judge also extended the already extensive gag order, which now covers the bond company and anyone in magistrate court. So getting details in the story, very difficult. Well, Garcia allegedly drove drunk last Christmas Eve, you might remember, and crashed into a car with 2 brothers and one of their girlfriends inside. Joshua and Isaiah Deal and Shannon Del Rio were all killed. Joel Garcia has another hearing scheduled for December 3rd. A fight at the Heine's Sports Bar in El Paso's Lower Valley ended with one man stabbed and the alleged attacker getting hit in the head with a baseball bat. You can kind of see the injury on 33-year-old Daniel Saldivar's head here. He is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police are saying Saldivar stabbed a man just after 2 this morning. Police also say then a third man who saw the fight break out got a baseball bat and swung it at Saldivar's head. Saldivar was taken to the hospital, but then released and then taken to jail. The man he's accused of stabbing is also expected to recover. ABC-7 is waiting for investigators to say what caused this mobile home fire in Carotillo this morning. Video sent to us by a viewer shows flames pouring out of a mobile home just after 4 a.m. This is on the 7100 block of 3rd Street. Now, someone inside the home was hurt while trying to get out, but taken to a hospital. Firefighters couldn't get to the house, so they had to stretch 600 feet of fire hose just to get to it. Here's a big story tonight. Former Subway pitchman Jared Fogle. He is now beginning his 15-year prison sentence tonight for sharing child pornography on the internet and having sex with underage prostitutes. Prosecutors only asked for 12 and a half years, but the judge rejected Fogle's pleas for mercy and gave him added time. Again, 15 years in total. ABC-7 and TechStop with live traffic coverage for you tonight. I-10 in Zaragoza looks pretty good out there right now, folks. Just keep in mind, a lot of scheduled maintenance happening, so stay with ABC-7 and we'll keep you updated as soon as any road closures do happen, as we have been seeing. Do not forget, though, speaking about that, the big I-10 closure Sunday in West El Paso. Both directions from downtown to Executive will be closed. Now, the closure begins at 5 in the morning and it runs through 5 in the afternoon. El Paso electric crews will be moving power lines to a new spot, so TxDOT crews can start work on that new Loop 375 project, the one that's going to run right next to I-10. Storm track weather right now. All right, the voice slowly coming back. You can hear the energy each day coming back, Nichole.
I can hear it.
I can hear it too.
I
but
know
then,
it's there.
Then you have that puberty going out. Hey, I'm trying. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. The weather's doing good. Your voice is doing better, so we're in good shape here at KVIA. But let's talk about those temperatures on our WeatherNet site, sponsored by the mattress firm. Mesilla Valley Christian School, 45 degrees. Anthony, New Mexico, we're also in the 40s. So you can see those temperatures in New Mexico are in the 40s. Here in El Paso, northeast side of town, we're at 50. Valley View, 49 and 53 at Loma Terrace Elementary School. So we're cooling off tonight, but for the most part, it is nice out there. And as far as our current conditions out there, as far as rain chance in the forecast, doesn't look like it's going to happen for tonight. Our clouds and radar picture showing us that we're under mostly clear skies. And notice along the area mountains, we're at 39 Ruidoso, 37 Silver City, and we're pretty much under clear skies. This is what it feels like outside. 38 TRC, 32 Silver City, 40 in Deming. So our wind chill temperature is not too bad because it's not windy outside. As I mentioned, clouds and radar showing us clear skies. That will be the case tonight into tomorrow. Cool, clear skies. Another beautiful day tomorrow, but early Saturday morning, if you're going to be up and out and about, you'll notice that drop in temperatures and the strong winds. But we'll talk about the details. I'll let you know how long the winds are expected to stick around in your full forecast. Bob?
All right, thanks so much for that, Nichole. New tonight, There apparently is no credible threat to the United States following the terror attacks in France. That is what the director of the FBI announced today, saying investigators are not finding any trace of Islamic State propaganda that specifically mentions targeting Americans on U.S. soil. Well, ABC-7's complete coverage of the Paris attacks continues now with how you can help victims in Paris. So grab a pen and paper for that or get ready to log onto our Facebook page for that information. First, though, the huge blow to ISIS tonight. The French government saying the alleged ringleader of Friday's attacks was killed when police stormed an apartment building outside of Paris yesterday. And new tonight, French officials say Syrian military commander, or was a military commander, I should say, was also behind 4 other planned attacks that failed over the last 6 months. He reportedly already had another attack in the works. Video shows French police training for a possible chemical attack, and they are now preparing for the worst.
The counterterrorism officials in France right now are worried about other attacks that might be planned, and that's the #1 priority for them.
And police are also still searching for suspects, one of them believed to be a gunman that was shown in some disturbing video that you see here that was released on KVIA.com. Well, if you saw ABC-7 at noon today, then you probably saw our Nichole previewing the El Paso Playhouse's production of a play that is actually set in Paris. Well, it runs for the next 4 weekends at the Playhouse, and the organizers today telling us they want to help the victims in Paris. So if you go to the shows, you can make a donation that will be passed on to the French Red Cross. The Playhouse is at 2501 Montana, and if you like information on the shows, they run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through December 12th. For more information, there's that number I told you to write down, 532-1317. And if you missed this, again, just go to the KVIA.com Facebook page and also our main website and look for Denise's video. And I believe it's on our Facebook page, but I will put that on in a few minutes, just in case it is not. Well, President Barack Obama's plan to take in the 10,000 Syrian refugees hit a major hurdle today. The House bill approved today actually split Democrats. So the Republicans got more than enough votes to override the veto that the president threatened to use. Well, the bill creates new barriers for Syrian and Iraqi refugees who are trying to enter the U.S. The bill calls for FBI background checks and certification from security agencies before they can enter this country. Well, our congressman voted like this. Beto O'Rourke voted no, but the Republicans, Will Hurd and Steve Pearce, voted yes. New at 9, I just got a copy of Congressman O'Rourke's statement on today's vote. He posted this on his Facebook page in the last hour. He says, I sought the counsel of subject matter experts, listened to the questions asked and comments made by my colleagues, and read and listened to the thoughts and concerns of the people I represent. All of this has convinced me that a proposed change to the current refugee screening process is not only unnecessary, it is counterproductive and will potentially undermine the security of this country's priorities. If you'd like to read Congressman Beto O'Rourke's full statement, again, just came down within the last hour. I shared that on our Facebook page right now. Congressman O'Rourke also today questioned Ryan Crocker in Washington, D.C. If you don't know, he's the former U.S. ambassador to Syria. And O'Rourke asked him about the troubles in the Mideast and if the U.S. needs to address those problems with a whole new approach.
I don't think we could do more of the same and expect a different result. I really feel if there's ever a time to rethink our approach to the Middle East, it is yesterday, and would love to hear your thoughts on how we might approach that.
And by the way, if you'd like to hear the former ambassador's answer, we have shared that video clip as well on the KVIA.com Facebook page. Check that out. Also, our special coverage of the Paris attacks and the refugee situation, it continues now at KVIA.com. Today, we learned 8 Syrian refugees turned themselves into federal officials farther south on the Texas-Mexico border. Now, if you go to our webpage, by clicking on the link at the top of it, you can read all about what happened Tuesday in Laredo. Even Governor Greg Abbott took to Twitter because of this, saying, this is why Texas is vigilant about Syrian refugees. Details on who they are and where they are tonight, plus dozens of other stories related to this, now at KVIA.com. And don't forget, this is the topic of ABC-7 Extra this Sunday at 10:35. Well, those refugees entered South Texas from the south, or South Texas from the south, I should say, like millions of immigrants have done before. Tonight, new numbers are showing Mexican immigrants are returning to that country, and they are more than are crossing back into the U.S. Now, this is reversing a huge historic trend.
The number of Mexican nationals who have predominantly been the greatest number. I mean, about 96-97% of the population that's being arrested was Mexican nationals. That numbers have been coming down quite a bit.
Well, the Pew Research Center used census and immigration stats from several Mexican and U.S. agencies, and it found between 2009 and 2015, 1 million Mexicans left the U.S. compared to 870,000 who came to the States. Researchers say it's because the Mexican economy has improved and more Mexican people now believe life in the U.S. is not better than it is in Mexico. Well, it's already been a year and a half since our southern border was overwhelmed with immigrants from Central America. Tonight on ABC-7 at 10, where are they now? And are they showing up in court? We investigate in a special report. You'll see it only on ABC-7. We'll be right back.